Hi, my name is Alinga, and today I'm going to talk to you about our latest international project called Purple with Purpose. People probably best know me as the director of the Center for Citizenship, Enterprise and Governance, which is a not for profit think tank. We're the world's leading not for profit, with a couple of 100,000 members. And we focus on myself and my colleagues on the dialogue around data. Who owns it? How do you transact it? How do you get value from it? And in that dialogue, we are often seen to compare and contrast. In the West, in West Coast, for example, people like Facebook and Gmail, Google, etc., believe that companies own your data. It's a Western philosophy. After all, they give you the products for free: Gmail, Instagram, WhatsApp. And so they say, well, we give you these products for free, so just give us your data. And we will then use your data to sell you more stuff. And they go also to influence the way you vote, because someone may have paid them to influence your ideology and to nudge you into that voting behavior. In Europe, we have a different approach. In Europe, we go, my data, my way, and it's resulted in GDPR, but all we do is hit cookie acceptance buttons 30 times a day. No one reads the terms and conditions. It hasn't really worked out, has it? In China, and I sit on the government committee from Ministry of Commerce, it's called the China E-Commerce Blockchain Committee, and there they believe data belongs to the government because they believe that government that is responsible for safeguarding society. And they say, look, we have 1.4 billion people in China. We have 72 BRI, One Belt, One Road initiative countries, 73 with Afghanistan. We cannot use individual rights as an instrument. We look after the corpus of society. And in that respect, they use fourth industrial revolution technologies that are data related, like blockchain, like AI, like Internet of Things, like 5G, as a way to actually monitor people and in their respect, safeguard them. Now, I was very surprised to hear in February this year, 2021, from a guy called David Proud, who pointed out that there's a large proportion of society representing, a bigger community than the population of China, than many religions like Islam and Christianity. Bigger than those communities that actually whose data is not monitored or tracked because they're not considered to be of worth to society, which is extraordinary. And it's a real failing in our society, isn't it? That a huge proportion of society is considered so misaligned to the mainstream that they are not either assisted or safeguarded in the way they use their data. And it does represent, at the same time, simultaneously, a massive opportunity, which I think we should all grasp, because this is like a portion of the world which has been ignored. And that is, of course, the disabled community. The disabled community, whether it's physical, with mental health, visible or hidden disabilities, represents around 20% of the world's population, around 1 billion at least. And so you have to say, wow, how is it possible that in this day and age, a fifth of the world has been ignored in terms of their contribution to society, in terms of their validity in society, and their and that the fantastic resource that we have failed to capture. Yet it affects us all, doesn't it? I have disability in my family, immediate family, my own family, in my extended family. You will probably know people who are disabled, and you yourself may be disabled. Or it may be that you know someone, in the media who is recognized as self-identifies as disabled, and these are many recognized, many well-known people, or even other people who are actually have disability within their families or extended families. So this is not a small issue. This is not a very niche problem. It's actually amongst us all, and it should garner all our support. How big deal is this? Well, in terms of spending power, UK recently upped their figure from 249 billion in a year to 274 billion. US represents something like 600 to 700 billion dollars, and globally it's around 13 trillion dollars of spend. Now, that's not an insignificant number, is it? And in any other sector, this would be considered an incredible untapped resource and would attract much attention. And it says something to our core values that we have chosen globally to ignore it. And I think this is something we'd like to redress. It's, after all, bigger than the Chinese market. And the retail sector, in fact, is very closely aligned to this new approach, this closure on ID, of identifying niche people and niche communities, getting to know us through our own data, and to have services and products which are aligned to our destination and what we value and to our values. And so they want to personalize their products to us because they believe it brings them greater loyalty as well. And we will call this purple loyalty moving forward. So our mission, overall mission, is that if data is used in the West Coast, in the West, for corporates to sell us more stuff or influence us, and in East to whether you want to safeguard us, and some will say control, then why not use our data through the purple project to actually nudge society into a better place? Why not nudge us to better behaviors, better sentiments, better society? And so that is the essence of what we're trying to do. And we believe it will lead to much amazing steps in terms of circular economy, both financial benefits, of course, where retailers will be able to target and provide discounts to that community, but also then they will have more revenue streams themselves, and it will help us overall establish things like Purple Foundations, who represent 20% of the world, but also, and perhaps more importantly, or of equal importance at least, a non-financial circular economy, which talks about our data of our intangible data of kindness and customer ratings and the way we view and treat disabled people and the way they feel as a being a game changer in our society. And so these circular economies, which can now be measured, transacted, and delivered, we think will be transformative in the way we go. So we have developed a project which will launch shortly in the last quarter of 2021, looking to do the pilot in spring in 2022, finalize the findings ourselves in autumn 2022, and then launch it properly following the findings to revamp in 23, and internationalize it 24 and go forward. And of course, it's a marathon, it's not a race. This is not a small thing. It's part of the United Nations SDGs 2030, so we want to get this right. We're not, this is not completely commercially driven at all. And some parts of it, ultimately we think 5G will have a great part to play, because you see 5G is about data layers. And by data layers, I am talking about someone who's disabled, goes into a cafe and does not have to say, "Hi, I'm disabled," or show a QR code or self-identify, recognize themselves. The fact is, through 5G technology, they will know through that data layer has entered the premises. They will know they can get automatically the right discount, automatically the right services, and so as 5G rolls on, these things can be integrated far more into our society. And the team that we've brought together, we're really proud of, I have to say. The whole thing was inspired by David Proud, the founder, who's an award-winning writer, an actor in the UK, writes for the world's leading series on television called Coronation Street, which is like an institution in the UK, but has been going many years. And he inspired us to operationalize this, and so we were very happy to bring our services to his vision. People like Julie Fernandez, you will know from hit TV series The Office, and many others, have been brought in. Like Alison, who was heading up Citibank and JP Morgan over in Asia for many years, and Bill from the retail sector, from multinational, multi-drop retailers around the world, and including Simran, who is a lawyer focusing on compliance, legal, and risk, based in Singapore. We have Pamela, who focuses on, she is a mainstay in the Caribbean disability community and is looking at diversity in that area. Antoinette, who is bringing her finance and governance as company secretary and accountant to us, because this thing has to sustain itself and be sustainable and scalable, with her skills. And Georgina, who is going to focus very much on the idea of microchips, which she's developing for the art sector as well. The idea of microchip came from an idea from something we developed called micro shares, but now relabeled as micro tips, that we should be able to tip, not financially, but emotionally, other people through who make us feel better. And so we think the purpose project is at the core of that world-changing idea. We want to do a pilot project first in Cambridgeshire. And that is Cambridge, you'll know the city where the university is in the UK, and it'll involve all the sectors, the public sector, local government, corporates and retailers, civil society, third sector, and of course the communities, including the disabled community. And the focus will be to test some of the outcomes of our thoughts and to find what works, what doesn't work, and from that we'll be able to provide a much better final solution going forward. This is a groundbreaking project, and it's in international dimensions. And we are looking for people and institutions, organizations to join us who want this to happen. And part of that is use of blockchain. I was the world's first professor in blockchain, and we back in 2017 dropped onto the market a new kinds of blockchain. Blockchain is a movement of digital assets from A to B. Many of you may know it as Bitcoin, but actually it's just a movement of any kind of digital asset. And of course, money is an asset. Bank, things like land is an asset, gold is an asset, diamonds are assets, but so is love, happiness, hope, generosity. And these are the core sentiments at the heart of the disabled community. And if we can get this right, the disabled community will be pioneers in the global change, especially post-pandemic. This has become of greater importance. And so we developed a block of value which contains both tangible, hard financial value and intangible, soft, non-financial value. And we're suggesting we use this for the pilot. It may not be appropriate for the full rollout, but we've got to start with something which is compliant. We did it with the FCA, Financial Conduct Authority oversight in 2017, and so we believe in compliance. And the second aspect, of course, is this idea of microtips, of what we call micro shares, that the way we want a transactional way, not with money, but with acknowledgement of someone, the way someone in the disabled community has been treated by retailers and by society, how to thank, how it can scale from our thoughts through to our personal value and values, into the organizations we operate in, into the regions we live in, into the nations that represent our values, and into the world as a whole ecosystem. And this is, I'm excited that the disabled community can be the heart of a change in society. And this change has become more important since COVID, hasn't it? COVID shocked us all that money actually isn't the most important thing, of no use if you're dead, and that health matters more, and that our families matter more, and spending time at home matters more, and being out of cities matters more. And so it has changed, and we think this is aligned to the new value sets post-COVID-19. And so so that we don't spend time all on development, we are using an existing retail ecosystem which we developed in 2018, at the end of 2018, which has QR codes and mobile apps and loyalty discounts, gift cards, etc., based on blockchain technology. And we will use that to learn in the pilot what works and what doesn't work, and and discard items of it that are no longer relevant or not compliant with legal these days. Finally, the project itself, financially, is a not-for-profit project, so half of it, the contributions will go towards the foundation we wish to set up, and about a quarter through our operations, and a quarter to the investors who are going to make it happen. And of interest here is this concept of setting up the Purple Foundation by 2025 or soon after as a DAO, a distributed autonomous organization. That's an organization without directors, without shareholders, without hierarchy, simply where everyone who is disabled in the world has one vote. And this, we believe, can be an enlightening idea of representation and democracy going forward in society. So I'm going to leave you with these words from David, who inspired myself and my team here at CCG. And I'd like you to read it, reflect on it, and wonder if this is something you'd like to help and contribute to make a better world, where we can nudge through our data, into a better world. Because after all, the currency of the world is no longer money. The currency of the world going forward is data, sentiment, and ideology. And so this fits very well into our latest institute that we dropped onto the market in 2021, the Ideology in Code Institute. But we call it the home of total value, meaning both financial and non-financial value. We have been doing this work for over 10 years, actually, over a decade. And we've been doing it for many leading companies around the world. And certainly it's captured the zeitgeist of this decade. We feel extremely proud to be associated with the Purple with Purpose project. It represents the essence of what we're about. It is our highest achievement if we get this done correctly. And it excites us. We think this is a project worthy of us putting all in. We are certainly purposefully ourselves driven, as is this project. And we'd love you to join us to make this happen for the world and for ourselves, our society, and for yourself. Thank you.